Can anybody hear me? I should theoretically be live, but YouTube is taking a minute. I actually noticed our internet's been weird the last few days. Hopefully we're all good. That's a weird way to introduce yourself. I am live. Well, probably with a decent delay on it. Oh my god, I didn't change the title of the stream like a dumbass. I knew I forgot something. We are gonna... Oh, okay. Thank you. What we are gonna be doing today is working on a super prototypey, You're alive, Milo.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. We're gonna be working on a super prototypey, hammer action blaster. So, we did a lot of math a while ago with Ed, and Ryan, but that, we didn't actually do anything with it. We basically worked at our geometry and then called it a day. This is where we left off, I think. Actually, there's some extra stuff here. Because I was wrong about something and Edgar wanted to rub it in my face. Yeah. I'm kidding, Ed is wonderful. I was wrong about something, and thus, yeah. So, let me grab some measurements from here to here. What do we have? I hate that this sketch palette gets in the way. Can I move it? Oh god, I'm an idiot. Oh my god, I've been dealing with this since I started using Fusion. I just didn't even think about it. Oh, that's the wrong side. It's snapping to the wrong side. Okay. Oh, okay, alright. Alright, there we go. I feel like a complete dunce right about now. What? Okay, now I feel like less of a dunce, because this is definitely Fusion fucking up. Yeah? Okay. And now, okay, now I can move. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. So that distance. Oh, thank you. Eleanor, say something in chat. For fuck's sake. Okay, maybe I'm not such an idiot. That was impressive. Is this a complete blaster made from scratch? Is it made from scratch? Yes. Is it a complete blaster? No. I would like to think of it more as like a prototype thing, just to get geometry correct. So it's not going to be like something that I'm going to take to a war. It's something that I'm going to build and put in my pocket, or not at all. I'm going to build it and I'm going to test with it, and then that's going to be it. See, I'm not sure why this isn't a precise... Did I measure this in degrees? God, do I have to go back and watch my own stream? 50 degrees. Okay. Eleanor now wields the oof hammer. That's funny. Okay, so let's look at that sketch. So this is the hammer shot geometry, and the hammer shot has really nice geometry. So I'm probably going to take a minute and just try and remember what I was doing before. By the way, am I okay for the music volume? Is that good? Are we all good there? Oh, I have a space mouse I could be using. Hold on. A lovely patron of mine, David, who's working on some really cool stuff actually, sent me a space mouse. And I'm just getting used to using it, so you guys are gonna have to forgive me when I flail around like an idiot with it, but... So far I have learned to not completely screw up with it, and programmed memes into it, so I need to get better with it. I'm told it can be quite productive. The only problem is I don't have room on my desk for it. So, yeah, like if you look at my desk, it's like, the mouse is here, it's like half hanging off the desk. I got my touch monitor, main monitor, and then side monitor, so it's a mess. Let's get that open. Alright, now I can spam memes. Alright. Hey, is it not? Do I have to reinitialize Fusion in order to make this work? I'm not sure. Hold on. I think I do. Now you can escape capitalism. It's such a good meme. Which of the stock Zombie Strike blasters is a good sidearm other than the hammer shot? The Quadrant looks pretty decent. The Double Strike is more of a tertiary. Yeah, there we go. Oh. I need to get better at this. Alright, there we go. That is really confusing to me, but okay. Oh, it's because there's no axis there. Okay, that actually makes sense. Okay, so this is the hammer shot geometry. You can make the Double Strike as a 4-barrel revolver. Yeah, you can. Devil Z has a printed part. It doesn't index, though, so you have to manually twist it. Not that that's the worst thing in the world, but... Okay, so this is the pivot point. I should have labeled this. I need to get better at labeling this shit. 39.5, 24.5, and 40. Jeez, I wish Ed was here. I'm gonna ping him and see if he's still awake. See, I'm not sure. Oh hell. I need to get better at this. It's a 6-axis mouse that I'm, like, controlling with my hand, so... Okay, so... So if I'm remembering correctly... Okay, that's just a fucking circle. I'm good for now. Thank you, though. Oh, hell. How do I do this? I'm not good at this. So if I'm remembering correctly, what we're dealing with is the seer needs to be I'm not sure what the correct word is. Tangent? Whatever the perpendicular to perpendicular to tangent, I guess, whatever that is. Here. I need to get something in 3D because I have no idea how to, like, when it's 2D, there's no frame of reference, so I'm not sure if it's bizarre. I think I prefer Maverick. Okay, so the distance between the seer position, between the pivot and the seer location, is the larger that distance becomes, the more precision you have, and the easier the trigger pull. So we want that pretty decently far away. Now the hammer shot, how far away are these 2 points? Now they're offset, but they're about 19. So we could go 20, maybe even like 22 or something on ours. There's also no need to specify the location of this, so it could be... Oh no, because you kind of want the seer position to be like flat, like 0 degrees, I think. No, I guess you could move it. Yeah, as long as the seer surface is circular with the radius centered on the pivot, and the seer surface from the hammer comes out from the center, from the pivot of the hammer. That could work. Jeez, I forgot how much math there was here. Okay, let's actually start drawing lines here. Whoops. Oh, did I get that wrong? That looks right to me. Nope, that didn't help. Again, without that third axis, it's really hard to get perspective. Okay, so let's make the seer surface perpendicular, because I said so, and because Edscar's gonna get mad at me later for it. And that's what I love. That's my kink. Now, the distance from the hammer seer surface to the trigger seer surface will determine how long of a distance, you have to pull the trigger to rotate it out of the way. Now that can also be changed by the degrees of motion that you put in. So you could have like a larger or narrower surface. However, on a larger surface that's closer in, you're going to have more friction. Because you have to move it, you have to move more material across that area. Oh god, Eleanor, that's horrific. Okay, so what is it in the hammer shot? Okay, the distance from there to there. Okay, so it does just automatically put that there. There's nothing I can do about that. It's 9.5. So realistically, we could go with 10 and get a slightly smoother trigger pull. So our center point is there. Now that is in the primed position. So we're looking at the back of these slots. So this line and this line is our top piece of geometry. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sketch and I'm gonna do a new sketch based on this one. Whoa, nope, something wrong. Hey. So that's 35 at a 5-degree backward angle. Five. Excuse me. Random hiccup. Hopefully they do not persist. And this one is gonna be... Still not gonna let me do it, but it's gonna be 30... What is that? 39.5? That's obnoxious. Why am I like this? 39.5 at 65. 39.5 and 65 degrees. And I should get rid of that construction line too, because I don't know what it's doing. So theoretically, oh, that's in its primed position. I'm not sure if I want it in the primed position or in the oh god. Seriously, learning to control this knob in 6 axes without accidentally bumping any of the other ones is ridiculous. Okay. So this means that as our hammer rotates forward, like so, this piece is going to swing downwards. So that's the limit on this, because the longer this arm is, the better, right? So the limiting factor is the trigger well. I really wish I could just sketch on top of this. I might have to do that. Why are there only 10 watching? Because not a lot of people... Well, 1, it's Saturday night. 2, there's not a lot of... It's Sunday night. My roommate corrected me. I knew that. I said it wrong. Yeah, so, 2, not a lot of people give a shit about me doing math for 3 hours. Same thing happened on the last stream. What do we think? Do I want to model this in the primed position or in the forward position? Because in the primed position, the seer locks make sense. But it's not naturally resting in the primed position. It kind of is, though. Okay, so we're going to model this in the primed position. Okay, so let's throw in a circle here. We probably don't need that. Actually, this is a construction line anyway, so let's actually go through... This is all construction lines. None of this geometry is being directly used, it's just being used as a reference. So... I need to bring in a Nerf dart for scale. For real. This is ridiculous. I think I have a box of darts laying around here somewhere that I can steal from. And then calipers. I said calipers. Okay. I got this. I know I've already modeled this before. That's fine. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna model this in a separate document in my bits folder so that I can import worker darts for scale. Might even do waffle too because I'm that anal. Alright. Playing video games while you're watching right now. How dare you? That's fine. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It seems Edskar is not awake, which is unfortunate. 29. Oh, today's music is Cloudkicker, who I very much enjoy. Looks like the foam is like 29-ish millimeter. And the tips are glued on really sporadically. Actually, the foam is really, really precisely cut, to their credit. It's just that the heads are glued on by a fucking loony. Alright, let's do new design. And then, where are we gonna make this? We're gonna make this on the origin. Oh god, what am I doing? I have no idea how to make this. I could just click on the right thing, but that feels like quitter talk to me. Okay, so go for a circle that is, I think, 13.5 in diameter. Oh, fuck, Ed, what the hell are you doing? Maybe it's 12.5. None of these numbers seem right. I really should have invited Ed along here. I just didn't think of it. Oh, Christ. Looks like my numbers were wrong. Okay, alright. Let's also open up magazines. Vorpal. Literally does not matter which one I opened. Okay. Radius of 6.5, which makes it 13 millimeters in diameter. Yeah, it's a fair approximation, I'd say. Out of curiosity, what did I make the length here? 29. Yeah. I'm basically gonna copy this exact model, except do it in a new document. Because, you know. Okay. We're 3 procrastinations deep. It's fine. 12 all the way to 14, so we're gonna go in one further. And then 2.75 radius, so that's 5.5 diameter. And then the head of it is 5.5, so that's 11. So we don't want a symmetric extrude, because I want it centered on the origin. So the distance from here to here is 8. And then from here to here is 37. So if we were making it symmetric, it would be 37 total. Half of that is 15. 18.5. That took me longer than it should have. So 18.5, and then subtract 8 from the other side. So it's a two-sided rather than a symmetric. And then this is just 10. Well, I did that wrong. That would make this... Oh, okay, no, I did that right. Oh, fuck me. Alright. I mean, I obviously did it wrong, but... 18.5 plus 10.5. Alright, so that is the size of our foam. $99mm diameter. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Alright, so then let's go into our sketches. And then, how long did I make this dart head? This is gonna be fun. Yeah. Okay, well, since I picked a smaller magazine, totally intentionally. Okay, so that's a length of 5.5. I have less sketches to deal with. Okay, that's a length of 5.5, and the distance between here and here is 1.5. So, if we take this, we extrude it at an offset. Okay, so let's extrude it 1.5 to start with, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to an offset plane, and I think that's 10.5, so 12 minus 12, my bad, should line up perfectly with the front. There we go. That did it. And that's how to avoid doing math at all costs and make your computer do the math for you. Which is actually a pretty smart tactic. I mean, I'll play it off as being me being stupid, but the less chances you give yourself to screw up, the better. Like, you are going to end up with a better quality product if you make it impossible for you to screw up, right? Like, that's why I always check with a calculator. That's why I always, like, double check in chat to make sure I'm not being a dumbass. It's just making sure that I am not gonna screw this up and end up taking like 3 times as long to do something. Okay, so admittedly, I don't know how large this dart head has to be, so I'm gonna go with 5, and then we can adjust it when I'm wrong. $6.5. Okay. And then where's that dart body again? And then I threw a chamfer on here that looked nice, and it was... Wow, I did that a long while ago. Oh, god damn it. Alright, fine. Can I edit feature from here? Huh. I might be able to. No, I can't. I lied. Distance there. Oh, actually I might be able to just... Nope. I tried. Wow, it really doesn't want me to... Alright. That's not helpful. I guess I could reverse engineer that and figure out Pythagoras shite on it. then again, I am just going for what looks right. So maybe I should shut the hell up. Because I'll probably come up with the same exact thing. I feel like Hasbro copied Xavier with the Titan. I had a similar thought. Not that there's particularly any legal recourse that could or should be taken, but rubber soft, plastic matte. Probably miscellaneous air, rubber soft, and then what the hell? There's a ground plane? That's awesome. Gemstone? That's awesome. Don't tempt me. Paper. That's super rad. Plastic. I don't know why it's taken a whole bunch of these out of their folders. It's particularly obnoxious. Pink. What should we go with for dart body? Should we go with the classic worker yellow, or should we go with, I don't know, something a little more exciting, something a little more me? Like I could go for like a... No, see, that's too, like, Jangular. I don't know what color I would want mine. That's far too eye-searingly bright. I could go for something like that. A little more into the... like a good fuchsia. I don't want to wash it out a little bit. Make it look a little more dart-like. That's dumb. I'm just gonna go with the worker. Would it be overkill to put the worker logo on the side? Like, I could do it. It wouldn't be hard. I could do it. Hi, we are currently 3 stages deep in procrastination, I think. At this point, you sort of just have to accept it. 225, 233, 105. That looks wrong. We'll double check that. I mean, I know it's wrong, but we'll double check it. It's too green. Two, 3, 3, 105. That's bizarre. 255, 233, 105. Two, 5. Oh, 255. Yep, I'll do it. That looks right. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find a PNG of a worker dart. Or a PNG of the worker logo. looking like it. Oh well. I'm gonna pretend that I am not currently going to WorkerKit to see if I can find a PNG randomly located on their side. No, okay. No. This is dumb. I'm being dumb. Let's not go 4 procrastinations deep in a project. Let's go up to MISC parts and save. Worker start. It's in the wrong folder. Alright. Alright, so now let's import this Dart for scale. Somehow we've actually gained viewers. I don't know how that's possible, but... Ah, crap snacks. Should have made that. To go in. Make that, invisible. And close it. And then pull it in. Here we go. Hey, Homely. Okay, so it's not as bad as I thought. I was a little concerned. Oh. No. I need to get better at this. Seriously, I get why they call it a space mouse. It really feels like you're in 0G, trying to figure out how to navigate. Okay, I'm looking at it from the top. Fair enough. Nope, it's rotation on axis. Alright. I don't necessarily know if this is going to be more natural for me or not. Do things. Hey, Valor! Sending out my wheels tomorrow. Sweet. Maybe I'll design a cage and a blaster for them. Alright. So let's... I like my keyboard shortcuts a lot. So, like, having to switch between the space mouse and the... And you need your normal mouse, because that's how you click on things. You can't do that with the space mouse. It's literally only used for navigation. So I'm not sure if I... Like, the only thing is, like, I have the space mouse set up so that I can post memes. There you go, my Discord. You're welcome. Yeah, with one button push I can post and I can type out and send the links to various memes. So I definitely dig that about it, but I have yet to determine if I can justify its existence. Honestly, most importantly, it's the desk space it takes up. Because I definitely see its use, but I'm not sure if its use outweighs the fact that it takes up my desk space. I'm actually just gonna see if this Dart looks half decent at all when I go to render it. There we go. It's fine. Could use a texture map, but space mouse. A space mouse, or Space Mao 5, if you will, is a 6-axis mouse. So your normal mouse is 2-axis, so you've got up, down, left, right. Whereas this has up, down, left, right, forward, back, and then rotation around up, down, forward, left, right, back. My internet is filtered through a potato. There's a GLaDOS joke there, and it's like right on the tip of my tongue, and it's just not happening. Okay, the dart looks fine. Vanity aside, okay, so our sear surface. See, like, I'm not sure what I should work on first. Is the biggest problem here. I think what I should do, get this worker dart out of here. And then just select all of this stuff, including this. Oh, okay. Apparently I have to deselect the... And then... I think X makes that the construction line. Oh, I have to be in the sketch. That makes sense. Okay, so now this is all construction geometry. Actually, I think I want this circle back. Oh, fuck. Nope. Fuck that right up. I think I can actually use bits of this circle. I probably want to go, like, out to the edge, and then, like, 95 degrees here for the front of the sear. Now, this is going to determine how... See, this is a difficult thing. How many degrees of rotation I want in this trigger before it catches. Or uncatches, I guess. This is a double strike with a really good seal, actually. I have a modified double strike around here somewhere that has a really nice trigger pull. And being able to find the number of degrees before it breaks is, I think, the term. If it's not the term, it should be. I have this trigger 3D modeled. I could literally just go in. I don't think that would work. No, it wouldn't. Crap. Actually, I want that one to be not a construction line either. You know what? I don't have the double strike geometry in here. That would have been clever. I could have been very smart. Alas. Okay, so if we want to make this, like what? Like... I have no idea what that swing is. It's like maybe 20 degrees. So that would be 90 minus 5. minus... No, 90 plus 5 minus 20. So minus 15. 90 minus 15. 75. That's not enough. Let's go back to 65. I had a friend I used to game with. His name was 65. He got banned from a lot of games because he had a macro that would post the "What the fuck did you just fucking say to me, you little bitch?" Copy pasta. Just the press of a button. Got him in a lot of trouble. I told him maybe he should not do that. He didn't listen. Okay, so that's looking like our sear geometry for the trigger. Then let's throw in a 2.5 millimeter hole. That's a guess. I won't lie to you. And then at minimum, that's 2.5, and we want to add 2 millimeter wall. That might be small. Might be too small. Squint. See, I like the double strike trigger. Once you destroy it and I like my double strike trigger. I think that once you make the modifications that I made to my double strike trigger, everything else about it is nice. There you go. If you don't like your own work, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so 2.5, and then let's make that another 6.5. And that should give us 2 millimeter wall thickness here. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, that needs more reinforcement. However, I need a circle. And I'm beginning to understand why Hasbro did some of its geometry. Okay, so to clarify here, what we're looking at is the arc that your sear is going to, that your hammer sear is going to pass through. So this is going to be construction line 2. And as you can see, it clearly impacts here. Now, we could do something silly, like we could, I mean, we could just make this smaller, but that's not a good solution. Why is that saying 20.2? That's not good. That's clearly an indication that something's gone terribly wrong. What the actual fuck? Okay, that fixed it, apparently. Maybe he was trying to do something weird and tangent and not quite right. So... Hasbro's solution to this problem... So there's, so we could make these not intersect by basically having, like, a gap that it can swing through. But that's a terrible solution. Just saying. It would work, but not exactly elegant. We could bring this inward. So the Hammershot geometry, what is that? That's 14. Yeah, so we could bring this significantly inward and still have an increase over the Hammershot. Yeah, I don't know why I made it that large to begin with, if I'm being honest. I don't actually remember. No, that's not correct. This is gonna fuck up everything. Yeah, as I thought. Okay, so let's take these lines out. And this one too. And then let's see if this will allow me to move this sketch. That's looking promising. Hopefully it doesn't fuck up everything. Alright, so the Hammershot is 14. So if we go to 15, that almost deals with the problem. Problem is, because they have to be perpendicular, that basically sets the amount of clearance, unless we want to move away from it being perpendicular. Which then... you sort of have a bit of a jamming at that point. But I guess technically... I don't like that solution. It would be easy, though. Ah, hell, I have to take apart a double strike now. Need to get my screwdriver first. Did I ever change the title? I never changed the title of the stream. God damn it. I remember saying something about it, but then I don't remember actually doing it. There. Alright. Should be changed now. Only an hour into the live stream. I'm on the ball here. Alright. This double strike has actually served me quite well in foamy combat. The trigger's not quite right though, admittedly. Boom. Let's take apart this double strike. Oh, that's not ideal. Just looked inside of this and not pleased with what I found. Okay, 5.5 is the distance, and then subtract 3 for the pins. Or 15.5 rather, and then subtract 3 for the pins. But the sear surface is also a lot higher. .5 is the distance between centers. Don't explode, please don't explode, please don't explode. Especially not with my hands in the way. 9.5 minus 1.5, so 8 millimeters up. And it's pretty much dead on the same. Boom, nailed it. So that is a distance of, hold on, I need to stop sketch. And then we're gonna do a new sketch. And this one's going to be shit, we have to find the angle. That's like almost perpendicular. Call that 1.5 millimeters high or low, depending on your perspective. Alright. And then this is a distance of 11.5 millimeters, I seem to recall. So it's like 15.5-ish minus 3 for the diameter of the pegs. 15.5, 12.5 is the length of that. And then this is, throw down a circle that is 8 millimeters, I think we said. Ah, crap, I have to measure it again. And that was the really difficult measurement to get. Actually, I'm done. Nope, I do have to do that again. Please don't explode, please don't explode, please don't explode. 9.5 minus half the radius of the, or minus the radius of the post, which is 8 total. Gotcha. Okay, so this is an 8 millimeter line. Right. I remember doing that last time too. So we want to go to 16 here. 8. Alright, and that's the geometry on the double strike. Which is admittedly closer to perpendicular. However, it's so small. This is double strike geometry. And then let's slide this up. Can I do that? Just off the sketch to slide it up in the ranks. No? Can I not? Can I not do that? No? Okay. Alright. Fine. Alright. So Hasbro, see, they should be perpendicular, but that won't work, I think. So Hasbro kicks them outwards to give you more clearance between the pivot location of the trigger and the surface of the sear as it swings down out of the way. I think. So that's the difference between, if we stop the sketch and look at double strike, which, did that actually work? Holy shit, that actually worked. We edit the sketch. Now we can see that, that's cool. Alright, nailed that. I think that's the end of the album. No, it's not. I'm gonna go back to this. Okay. So, with the hammer shot, okay, so I think I'm like slowly nailing this down. Yeah. Okay. So, this length pretty much exclusively determines how easy your trigger pull is going to be. The angle here contributes as well. Now, if we measure, out of curiosity, this is a 106-degree angle, so call it 15 degrees. And this is 102, so call it, well, that's within our margin of error, actually. So the angle here is actually really similar. Now, here's a question. Oh, no way. Wait a minute. Yeah. Wow. Brava, Hasbro. a little bit of continuity. These measurements are all within margin of error. They're all about 16, or they're all about. Oh wait, did I get that wrong? You know what? I think I did get that wrong actually. It's 102, and this is 106. It's 15. And the Mediator Stock Blaster, which has a horrible trigger pull, is more. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, well then, never mind. However, the angle on this, on these two, is extremely similar. I mean, the Mediator Stock Blaster is a piece of shit. So I'm not mad about that. But I actually think that might be something. Okay, so to sum up what I've just been mumbling about. These two lines are the distance between the sear surface and the pivot point. So the radius of the sear surface, essentially. That, in combination, very slightly in combination, like realistically at this point it's so, the way they've done it is probably so close that it doesn't matter. Those two things handle how nice the trigger pull is. Or how nice it can be. If you're dealing with a rounded sear surface on the trigger, with the radius being at the center of the trigger pull, then that all applies happily. However, if you have a flat sear surface and a shorter hammer sear surface, then that's going to cause you more problems because it's more leverage there. So you know what? I honestly want to go with Hasbro on this. I gotta admit, there's some pretty decent engineering involved here. I kind of want to make some notes. Like, I kind of feel like this is literally noteworthy. Alright, let's get rid of those two. And then I'm afraid we have to get rid of this as well. So let's go back in, edit the sketch. What's that? Radius of 10. Okay, I can handle that. So we want... What the fuck is your deal? Why are you doing that? Holy shit. $15. And then we want that to be 10, and we want this to be 105. Because apparently we're listening to Hasbro now. What has the world come to? I really don't like that. Just for the record. So we go 90. So we want this to be 80. And then this is going to be 50 degrees. Too many lines. Alright, there is our hammer sear geometry again. And, yep, the sear surface clears it by a mile even. Like, we got room to go. Oh, fuck you. Nine, 10. Let's see if that clears it. Probably should have just left that circle there. 10 clears it. Just barely. That's funny. Okay, so that's our maximum there. This we could probably pull in substantially, because this is just strength. Although most of the strength is going to be down here. But we can sort of brute force it, really. And I think if we do that, by definition, I really think that that would be fine. This would make an extremely strong seer. I actually think that's pretty much the strongest you can make that seer. Part of me almost wants to bring this in a little bit, just to give it a little clearance. But it shouldn't be a problem. Someone take Alice's temperature, she's taking cues from Hasbro. Yeah. Yuck it up. Never live this down. That's 5 millimeters. Alright. So now we're actually like drawing in geometry. So this is good. I hate that that's a thing. But the force needs to be applied that way. Okay, I had a thought. Alright. If we abuse... Okay. This is a dumb thought, but I actually think it might work. If we go in like that, and then use this geometry as part of it, we can then have a flat contact patch. Like an even contact patch to avoid wear in any particular area. Oh! Dreadpire Roberts! Hey! Thank you for, you know, stopping by, and also thank you for approving my Transistor soundtrack. Okay, this is actually... I'm really proud of this. This is like the cheatiest cheat ever, but it's actually gonna work. I think I'm actually gonna extend this line. And then come in with a fillet on the... Oof. Yeah. And then all that needs to happen is this point needs to clear the radius of the circle. Whoa! What the fuck was that? It was working fine until I hit enter. Okay. That's not what I signed up for. Part of me is really tempted to freehand this, which I might do. Yeah. Let's get a spline in here. My good buddy Winston can look at me in absolute horror while I use a spline in a geometric part. He'd either be horrified or impressed. I really don't know which. Go. Wrong button. Alright. You know what? I actually think I can just delete that point. Whoa! That's gonna be a no from me, dog. Alright. Spline from here to here. And then we want to grab that, put it there, grab this and put it here. That looks really wrong to me. Could not tell you why. I mean, it would work, but still looks wrong. Saw Hammer Prime in the title and we'll have to stop by. Have a look and see. Well, yeah, there we go. Currently designing a prototype to basically check my math. On Hammer Prime blasters. And if it goes well, I'll do something cool. Like, build a whole blaster. If it goes well. Actually, I'll probably do it regardless. Man, this geometry is not critical at all, and it's just bothering the crap out of me. Like, I can't seem to get it right. be because of this angle here. Which technically I could avoid having this angle entirely if I took that midpoint and just went like that. Which is fine. Also, it's cool that you're subscribed to me. 3 millimeters, 3.5. I don't know. 4. Welcome back, Eleanor. Like, honestly, this would do it. This would... No, actually, it wouldn't work. This would need to be... that, at minimum. It would need to have that much curve in order for it to work. And that would also give it the maximum amount of strength, which makes me want to go for it. Hey, yo. They're going alright. Could be going better, admittedly. Just round over this corner here, give it a 1 millimeter. Technically, wow, that was a complete failure of words. This geometry is entirely not critical, for the record. I'm just being an asshole about it. And then let's make this pivot point a good old 2.5 millimeters. And then go to 8 millimeters just because this is like a super beefy section. Why the hell? Go back into our Hammer Prime stuff. Actually, I think Dread Pirate Robert's the... What are you, 6th or 4th? I know there's an I and a V, I just don't remember which order they're in. I am almost certain you could tell me, but I think I have it in here. Yeah, I do. What is this? Just to give myself... It's like 5 millimeters. Yeah, I could do 5. I could buy 5. Not 2.5. That's for damn sure. this? Okay, this is hammer. I don't know what I'm gonna name this thing. Hammer action. We're gonna call it Project Ham. That's the name of this blaster now, just for the record. It's called Project Ham. It's canon. 5. And we want this to be a new body. There are no forces, as far as I'm aware, on the back here, the spring rest area. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Whoever designed this model hates people. Are you saying I hate people? Because I'm currently designing this model. How to smoothly rotate around this part. Nope, that's wrong. So it's like, so I have to like tilt to rotate this way, and then rotate that way. Oh my god. How? Oh god. My brain is like having to do math live in order to rotate this part. Holy fuck. Oh. Okay, let's just all agree that I'm not very good with this Space Mouse yet. Okay, so the point is, at the end of this line, here, where the spring rest, or where the spring guide sits, there shouldn't be any forces ever pulling it back. In fact, I honestly feel like you could probably get away with not having a back on that. I mean, not that I would or will, because that's dumb. But you could, theoretically. Okay. So let's bring this thing in, go to bodies, yeah, there we go. Hammer, and this is trigger. So we want to move copy this. Hey, I clicked. I clicked. Why are you not letting me? Thank you. Lord. Okay, so if I rotate this 30 degrees, it shouldn't... Okay, so I did some math wrong. Hello. No. Okay, so I did some math wrong, and this is actually 25 degrees, but... sue me. Copy, and then we can move the pivot point to here. And then this rotates... Not that. Measure between here and here is 50. So this has to rotate 50 degrees, which admittedly wasn't precisely necessary. But hey. Oh, that's not good. Shouldn't that? No. Crap. Okay, so I'm glad we did this. So that's the resting position of the seer, which is actually really good news. Yeah, that's really good news. Because that means that if our trigger is below this point, then there's no chance of it ever getting into the trigger well area. That's awesome. This is fucked though. We have to fix this. I'm not entirely sure how to do that. This is gonna be fun. Okay. So let's go back in and edit the ham sketch, which is what it is now. It's the ham sketch. Okay. So we want this to be 30. Swear to God, if you've lied to me, fight you. No, that's right. Okay. I probably should have made that on 2 separate sketches, but it's fine. Alright, let's see what happens if I try and move copy this and put the center position here. And then rotate the... Nope. That's still on the center position. And then rotate the... Oh, that's not good. Yeah, definitely should have put this on a different sketch. $30, which is fine. Okay, move copy, and then center position here. Okay. And rotate. Nope, not working. Nerfenstein, how are you? You're spectacular, I imagine. I cannot imagine you being anything except wonderful. I'm being way more anal about the exact specifics of this geometry than I should be. I really am not sure why this isn't wanting to work for me. Nice. I respect that. Okay, I'm digging this Space Mouse, at least a little. Just need to figure out where to put the damn thing. Whoa, no, wrong direction. Whee! Just having fun. Okay, so this... Oh. Okay, you know what? I have a theory. I think that if we measure the distance between here and here, so 20, and then rotate that 25 degrees, which is the length of our trigger pull. Yeah, rotate that. Technically, it's not really, I mean, I guess it's a hypotenuse, but it's more just a, I just need the measurement. And then I need to rotate that measurement. So I need to, where's my origin? Nope. Nope. Looks like I can't use that line, so I'll have to draw it in. Got so great at this stuff, Alice. I'm never stuck with it after packing my printer away. Oh, I didn't know you had a printer. I feel like I probably should have paid more attention. Thank you. That was very kind of you. It's a lot of work, but I'm trying and I'm having fun. So, honestly, right now, getting this geometry right has literally been an hour and 45 minutes. Just these pieces. Because there's just so much math behind this. Should be fine. In fact, I actually think... See, what I was concerned about was because these two surfaces aren't applying pressure perpendicular to each other, is what you could end up with is a force pushing down, which is locking this sphere forward. And I actually think that's what applies the resistance in Hasbro stuff, apart from the fact that they've designed the geometry like a bunch of monkeys. So I actually think that's not terrible. So this should have a trigger pull that feels similar to the hammer shot, but maybe a little bit, not quite as snappy, but a little smoother. I think. Actually, what was the hammer shot? What was this post length? Okay, we're gonna stop this sketch. So that surface is 9.5, and then I made it 10. So yeah, a little faster of a trigger pull, I think. Like, I mean, not by a lot, but not bad. Alright. Oh, I have an escape key on this mouse. God damn it, see, the problem is, the more I like this mouse, the more I'm screwing myself, because I have to find a place to put it. I have no idea where to put this damn thing. It's like awkwardly sitting on the edge of my desk, and I have to get it out every single time I want to use it. It would be fine if it was like, if I had this monitor on this side, because I could scoop this right under the monitor, but it doesn't work like that. This is bothering me. Oh, that's wrong. I want a line from here to here. And that's 28.8 millimeters. Oh, fuck you. That's obnoxious. Alright. .8 degrees. My bad. So that's 3.8 degrees. 20 and the 3.8. So that was 28.8, and we're subtracting 25 from that. I guess that makes sense. Delete the remainder there. And then trim this off. Wow, okay. Actually, that worked pretty darn well. Okay, so I nailed this a little bit. I'm kind of impressed. Okay, so... Actually, I changed my mind. I think I do just want to turn off this last little bit, because I think from this point to this point is going to be like a nothing. Yes. That's not... That's... My printer can't print that precisely. That's more than enough clearance. So if we stop the skip... Darn it. Alright. There we go. Okay, so now, if we take this trigger and we rotate it, I have no idea if you guys can hear my roommate's bracelets jingling in the background, but it occurred to me how loud it was. Just in case you were wondering what that sound was. Okay, so we rotate that 25 degrees. And then we rotate the hammer, and the hammer's movement is 50 degrees. Oh, you see that? See that little bit of clearance there? Ha! Oh, look at that. That's how you do some geometry right there. The notion that Titan exists solely because of Chalo is silly. I agree. I mean, at the very least, there were people that designed it. But I think there was definitely some inspiration taken there. And for the record, I don't know who started the whole, like, development cycle is 4 years thing, but it's bullshit. It's just complete and total bullshit. And on top of that, even if it was, they could have had a product half ready and then made a slight change to it. I mean, like, especially with, like, other companies, like, look at how fast, Zuru, even developing a whole new ammo type to compete with Rival, and then spending that amount of time, and then the Chronos came out, and, like, a year later, their competition for the Chronos came out. Okay, I'm really proud of that. That's nice. So that is the absolute maximum amount of strength that you can have. And the perfect amount of clearance on these two parts. Nice. Although... I might want to redesign this top surface, because I think I could make it maximize the amount of strength there. No. So, our strength here okay, I'm really liking this. Let's rotate this down 50, and then we can just roll back. So our forces here are being applied. I'm turning off the origin, it's bothering me. Are being applied between this point here and this point here. That's where the compression force is. No, it's not. It's like... It's like... Crap, how does this work? So the compression force is actually coming from this point here. So the question is, what's the path that it takes? What is the area that requires the most strength? And honestly, I feel like that involves the Fibonacci spiral. Like a circle. You know what? Okay, I have a theory. Alright, let's see what happens if we... Right? Okay, now this is where we get funky, right? So this won't be exact, but we want this to be tangent. See, these two lines have to be about the same length in order for this to work. I'm not entirely sure if there's a way to do that other than just pulling on these handles. and hoping. But I actually think that gives us somewhere to go off of. This is how the force is being applied, I think. Or at least this is the best way to reinforce it. That's the absolute maximum. Okay, that was kind of cool. I'm a little proud of myself about that. Now the question is there a way to make that mathematically accurate? Basically what we're looking at is we want this circle here to be to have a center point on here on the pivot and be the radius of this here, be this radius, and then this one be the same for this point. Okay, that's kind of cool. And that's how your force is going to be applied. So if you filled in this entire area, or if you had a bar that you put in, this would be the place that would make it the strongest, assuming that we got this mathematically correct. So like, okay, so if we pull in a circle, right? That's diameter of 70, and then that there. Actually, we already have that circle in there, so we don't need to bother doing it again. There you go. Okay, so that's right. Oh, quit jumping around on me. Holy shit, I nailed that. I'm so proud of myself right now. That was awesome. That's not exactly precise, but it's pretty damn close. So that should be, I mean, there's obviously some margin of error because I was freehanding it, but that should be a Fibonacci spiral. Okay, I'm impressed. Yeah, it was, yeah. Now, that's not terribly useful to us, because it's not precise, and on top of that, it's probably unnecessary as well. I think this is going to be more than strong enough on its own. But if you wanted to maximize strength for material, which would mean lightening up the entire thing. No, this is a bad idea. Damn it. Alright. No. Alas, I have a thought. slides out of the way, and then that moves forward. So, if I'm being honest, the next part is kind of really simple. It's a post with a hole in it. Like, that was kind of the easy part. Or that was the hard part. This is the easy part. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Let's edit sketch. Come in and let's bring back our stop sketch and then bring in our worker dart. Just to, yeah, okay. I was worried I was making this way too large, but that's about right. This is a really small mechanism. I'm kind of tempted to SLA print it if I have the opportunity. Or maybe machine it out of aluminium. Because we all know aluminum sear surfaces work so well. Sorry, did I get sassy there? My bad. However, that does bring to my attention something that I should have thought of earlier. And that is that this should be symmetric and only 2.5 millimeters. No! 2.5, not 25. Lunatic. Alright, so now it's properly centered. Hey, remember when I talked about how I was going to design a blaster, and then I just spent the entire live stream working on exclusively the two sear surfaces? Smathy. I like that. That's funny. Get it made from steel. I have seen people machine steel on a Shapeoko. I haven't seen Winston machine steel on a Shapeoko, and thus, I don't intend to machine steel on a Shapeoko. Whoa, hello. It would be really cool to make these out of proper hardened steel, and then have like actual metal trigger and hammer. That would be cool. Have them actually be functional as opposed to the blaster parts kit, which grinds itself to the point where it doesn't work after like 2 wars worth of play. Okay, I know I keep going on about this, but I'm really proud of these surfaces, and that basically every single one of these dimensions is mathematically precise, and none of it is like freehand. Okay, so let's put our this is a 2.5 Nerfenstein. Did you play Transistor? I feel like it's a game you would probably enjoy, I think. Could be totally wrong. Yo, let's make our high wear surfaces out of unhardened cast steel. It's not steel. It's like a nickel alloy, I think. It's some sort of janky, gross alloy. I feel it like it is too. Playing a lot of PlayStation VR lately. Fair enough. You know, I really wouldn't mind a set of VR goggles for modeling, honestly. Like, not even for gaming stuff, just for 3D modeling to sort of get it in my hands and... it's not all nickel. It's like... I don't remember what it is. Somebody told me at one point they, like, did testing on it. Actually, part of me feels like it might have been Dread Pirate Roberts, who was in chat briefly, but I could be entirely wrong about that. I know he really likes Hammer Prime stuff. And makes resin cast hammers, I think. Nice. I like that. Do I still have that double strike open? I do! Wonderful. Okay, so the radius to the outside of the shell. Yeah. Oh, no, actually, I need to subtract. So make that 35. Actually, no, I think we have to make that 40. And that's 41 because we want to subtract 1.5. It's a bit large. Not that bad though. Yeah, that could work. This is an interesting thing. I'm really interested in the durability of different resins for resin printing, because a lot of these parts are small and precise enough that I would like to have a resin printable version. Or I would like to resin print it. But I don't know about, like, surface wear. Like I don't want to bitch about people deciding that aluminum is a good idea for a sear surface and then make it out of something worse, you know? But I guess we'll have to find out. I think, okay, that was nice. I actually think that I can do... Oh, I think there's some math here. I think that the larger we make the actual contact patch on this sear surface, I think you'll hit a point of wear. So this corner will come off, like, in the first trigger pull. right? Like, you'll lose a bit of material there in the first trigger pull. And that's fine. That's to be expected. But because of how this is designed, where it's basically as thick as possible and has as much contact patch as possible, I think you'll actually hit a point, like it's an exponential curve, right? You'll knock that first corner off in a second, and then it'll flatten out after a couple shots. And then it will continue to wear, but it'll wear exponentially slower. I mean, up until the point where you're, like, up here. But at that point, you're fucked. What's this going to be for? So this is, I'm gonna make a Hammer Prime Blaster. So, basically imagine, like, if you made a double strike, the ultimate double strike, where it's all of the dimensions for the internals are mathematically driven, as opposed to somebody at Hasbro eyeballing it. And yeah. And then once I have that prototyping platform, I can do other stuff with it. So I could make a revolver like a hammer shot, except have it be tiny, because I could use like the hammer shot cylinder has 5 shots in it, but the cylinder is large enough that you can fit 8 in it. So what if you wanted like a 5 or a 6 shot revolver that was like made by somebody in the community, right? You could, you know, if you were designing it for like a brass tube or for 3D printing or something, you could have a hammer shot that had a cylinder that was half the size, you know, and you could even fit in 6 shots. I think I actually did the math, and you can have a cylinder that is like 60% the diameter of the hammer shot cylinder and still have 6 shots in it, which is more than the hammer shot. And so basically I can just do whatever the hell I want with it at that point. You know, I can put in a massive plunger tube if I want. And then have like an NIC grade one. Like, imagine the sledgehammer, which was a sledge fire piston inside of a hammer shot. But imagine that like mathematically optimized. And then you could put whatever barrel length you want on it, right? And there's a couple of other things that I'm working on. There's actually 2 designs of firing, of loading method that I'm working on. That is a radius of 4. Let me grab my calipers. So it's like 8 millimeters. Yeah, that's fine. Rear loading. Sure. Rear loading is absolutely a possibility if you made the cylinder large enough to get it out of the way. Yeah, you could do that. I mean, you can rear load on the hammer shot if you know, screw around with it a little. I need to get better at this mouse. So let's make this 8 as well. Actually, no, see, because that's giving it a lot of extra range. And I don't know if I care for that. like, the distance between... So, max distance between pivot point and... What is the pivot point, right? So that's... What is that? No, it's not telling me. $35 plus 4, so that's 39 there. See, so that's fine on this. Okay, I have a thought. If I turn on perspective, is that going to make things easier for me to tell what I'm looking at? Oh, I think it does. That's kind of handy, admittedly. Okay, so this is 39.5, and then add 4 to that. That's pretty big. I have to say you're the best mechanical innovator in the community right now. That's... I don't know if that's true. But I appreciate the compliment. And regardless of whether or not I agree with it, your opinion means something. Did I just fuck that up? No? Got that right. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a little better with this mouse. This is all live, for the record. Like, this is all... These aren't, like, pre-programmed moves or anything. Like, I'm just trying to get more fluid with this thing. Yeah, this is weird. Because, like, the further I put this up here... This is weird. Okay, I had a thought. If you aren't, you're damn close. Thank you. It's very kind of you. I mean, admittedly, like I don't want to I don't want to take credit for every single idea that I've worked on, right? Like, this particular one, I actually had, like, I had the idea, but, like, I had the encouragement to work on it, and I had somebody else come to me and say, hey, you should do this thing, and I was like, I had that idea before, but it's stupid and I won't do it, and then he was like, well, actually, no, and then I did it. And that's, Zambona, has been a big influence on this particular project. People are doing cool stuff mechanically, but they aren't innovating on systems that already exist like you are. Fair. I think one of my biggest strengths is, that I do stuff, like I make things mechanically precise. Like I could have gotten away with doing what Hasbro did and just, like, bringing this line in here and going, well, it probably won't contact. But I basically made it as strong as physically possible. And that's the same here, too. So this is as strong as possible while maintaining that clearance there. Okay, so this should be 6.5. That's the sort of minimum radius you're looking at. Which is still a pretty big radius, but... Okay, so the hammer, I think I want it to be vertical when it's resting. Or maybe like 5 degrees behind vertical, so that when you press directly down... I got another double strike here. So when you press directly down... Doesn't matter that much, actually. That can sort of be fixed with ergonomics. Woo! Doing a spin. Alright. So, how far can we go? We can go up 50, and then... like 90 minus... That's 50... 40, I think. No, actually... No. No, that's right. And we also want this to be a construction line. So that's like looking like about where your thumb would sit. Now the front of these holes actually, they could be pretty uniform. They don't have to be, though, is the thing. That's exactly what I wanted. That's perfect. So all of the force here is compression, effectively. I mean, when you draw it back, there's a little bit of drag on the piston head to this, but it really doesn't matter that much. Again, this would be a great situation to use a Fibonacci spiral in, but it doesn't have... That's not a thing in this software. There's the little... Jeez. I have no idea how to do this. Alright, I'm gonna try something, and this might actually save me a lot of trouble. No way. Did that actually... Alright, let's try that again. Can I just make this tangent and call it a day? Oh, that's gonna save me so much trouble in the future. Holy shit. And by in the future, I mean right now, because I'm about to do that again. Actually, it makes me want to be less precise so that I can know that it's working. I can't believe that is that easy. I've been overcomplicating that for so long. Alright. Nope, that's the wrong button. Right. Dear Lord. That is making my life so much easier. 2, actually. Okay, this is not going to be the most elegant thing I've ever designed, but... Alright, so now let's roll forward. And then switch off the ham sketch, which is a weird sentence. I think that doesn't do anything. So this needs to be lightened up pretty substantially, because as is, okay, so the most strength is going to be used along this line here. And then the rest of this is just dead weight. And the more weight we have, the farther out, the worse that's going to be for mass. Like, for inertia. Like, you're going to lose a lot of... You're going to lose a lot of force on your spring there. Yeah, this is interesting. This isn't good enough for me. Like... actually... Hey, as a total aside, Ender's Game, the movie. I mean, I read the book when I was younger and still had functioning eyeballs. And I really liked the book. I mean, I know Orson Scott Card is not a good dude. He's, like, super into eugenics and stuff, and, like, a whole bunch of really fucked shit, but that doesn't discredit his work per se. But you know, I thought the movie was pretty darn good. Eleanor, you're gonna have to post pictures of what you're working on in Discord later. I thought the movie was pretty good, and apparently it panned. Like, everybody hated it. Said it was horrible. I thought it was like a really good representation of the book. I mean, it wasn't as good as the book, but for people with various disabilities and impairments, I thought it was a good good adaptation. I thought it did it justice. but apparently I was the only one that thought that. I'm gonna delete that stupid sketch. Literally did nothing. That was weird. Oh my god, is it trying to render... If I hover over these, is it trying to render these sketches as planes? It is. That's so bizarre. Well... Hey, I'm getting really good with this mouse. I just want that on the record, considering that when I started I was, like, bouncing around like a complete moron. Yeah, I'm getting good at this. Ooh. It's becoming a lot more instinctual to me. And I can, like, pick a position and rotate the part there pretty easily. Honestly, I think this is good enough for now. Because all I'm really using this for at the moment is, like, I don't know if people are aware of, I don't know if everyone's aware of how I do things, but usually I design internals and then make sure the internals are functional and then drop them into Photoshop and then make something pretty around it. So this looks functional to me. So like I can draw on a trigger down here, and I can draw in a hammer out here. Although I don't have a particular arm for the hammer, so I would probably draw that in. And this is, of course, in the primed position. And then just be conscious of the fact that I have to make a circle that encompasses this. It might not actually be a bad idea to do two separate renders, one of it primed and the other of it unprimed. So like that. Whoa, that's exciting. Alright, and then we'll make this tangent. Man, sometimes I feel like I'm a real engineer. Making so many people mad by saying that. That's fine. I can feel like whatever the hell I want. Yeah, okay. Well, it looks like everyone's taking off, and to be honest, I'm actually really happy with even just these two parts. Like this sear surface makes me really happy. And when you consider that, like, that this geometry comes from, like, the distance between centers, like the distance between pivots, and the length of the, of the sear arms, so that the contact point is at a specific angle. And then, like, this surface is designed to be as strong as possible without, and it mathematically is as strong as possible while not interfering with this piece, which is also designed to be as strong as possible without interfering. I think we did a pretty damn good job today, and I know this just looks like two stupid little parts, but it's not. This is some of the most complex geometry I've ever made, just these two interacting pieces. Thanks for stopping by, Nerfenstein. So I'm gonna call this a successful stream. I'm really happy about what I just did. Even though it looks like nothing. Yep. Alright. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out and humoring me while I math at you. And